Arsenal beat Real Madrid. How are you doing, darling?
I'm I'm good. I can't complain. It's a great whatever day it is, Thursday.
You look like
So
you're about to get your money back from someone that owes you money. Like, you look like you're about to do something, not legal.
it's cold. It's cold. So I'm trying to stay bundled up and stuff.
We can't relate, man. The weather in the UK is all right. It's all right. It's all right.
Well, that's all you guys can really hope for, right?
Are you
Sorry.
starting this already? Like where
I'm
we
not,
beat
I'm
Real
not.
Madrid?
I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Go ahead.
There has to be a correlation between Arsenal signing Raheem Sterling and us being in the semi-final since 2009. Since we're gonna be silly.
If that's what you need to be okay with his season with us, that's fine.
He's had a good season, man. Everyone plays their part. Everybody. It's someone like Raheem Sterling who's not in the starting 11. It's his job to remain competitive in training, be a support system, and yeah, man, Jamaica's taking over Arsenal, man. But
You should be his agent with
I,
that type of,
you'll never see me on YouTube again. These shows will stop. Definitely. However much he's getting at Chelsea, 10%. I'm on that. I'm on all of that, man. This has been amazing. Before we carry on, can we just confirm we're going over to your platform after this?
Yeah.
And somebody said, Miss Jess, you still owe me that skincare routine tips. Big up, Donna.
Start with water. Drink the water, We'll start there. That's my first tip. Lots of water.
She's gatekeeping people. You see, this is the sort of person she is. If it was me, Donna, I would have told you. Gatekeeping. Arsenal mug and everything, man. What a goal from DG in that intro. I think Arsenal should sign you as a striker. I'm definitely not a striker. I'm a fullback. Broken clocks right twice a day. And, when you see the likes of me, Martinelli, we stand up to be counted in big games. But we got a lot to discuss. How you feeling about going through to the semi-finals against Real Madrid?
I'm ecstatic. I'm over the moon. Like if you would have told me at the beginning of the season that we'd be so much points off of Liverpool and we would have suffered all these injuries, but we're knock out Real Madrid in the quarterfinal and be going on to the semis, I would have been like, wow, like that's crazy. And I'd said it on my show yesterday after the game that, I don't think as much as I'd rate Arteta, God damn, you got a lot of tabs up. Oh my God.
I know. Normally it's Alex. Normally you don't do anything. I need all of them. I actually need all of them. All of them will be gone by the time when we finish on your stream.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll be gone. There's a method to the madness. You think I want these tabs open for no reason? I'm trying to give people content. I do a lot of work for us, Jess. I always try and make sure we've got talking points. Underrated, man. Just like Bukayo Saka. Horrible lady.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think I gave us enough credit. Like in terms of, I didn't give us a 0% chance, but I was definitely like, I'm not sure. But this type of performance across the two legs just shows how much that they've grown from last season's Champions League to this one. And there's some players that I think if you didn't rate them, meaning like you're
hold that for. Would you just hold that for a second?
Okay.
Don't forget it because you're on a roll. I just want to ask you, because I'm sure there's people that might not know what you're alluding to. Yeah, what do you mean by like how we was last year versus this year in the champs?
I mean, I think one of the biggest disappointments from last season wasn't not winning the Premier League. It was the way that we went out to Bayern. I think that that really, to me, stuck with me because that season we had really shown that when we play up against big teams, we can come out with good results. We had beat City for the first time. We had beat Liverpool at home. Like we did a lot of things in that season that we hadn't really done before. So to come up, the alarm bells were going off with Porto because Porto are not the best team, but we really struggled with them. And then we went up against a weak Bayern by their standards and really went out sad, I thought. And after that, the talking heads were saying that Arsenal knew that they needed X factor and didn't go out there and get it. And then we came up against an even tougher test this time around in the quarterfinals against a Real Madrid side that I think psychologically are a little bit, they're a little on the like unsure side. And it was the perfect opportunity for us to sucker punch them, and we did. And we actually saw that we do have some players with X factor that maybe we didn't think had it before or hadn't shown it before in the biggest moments. So that was a very revealing tie. And I think it was a mental tie. The PSG tie for me is the tactics and the talent and all that. This tie to me was all about mentality and what was going on up here, and we won the battle. And so I'm super proud of them.
I think you're right, man. I don't know what I'm prouder of. I'm not. I don't know if it's the first leg at the Emirates because of just how we played, and definitely one of the greatest nights, if not the greatest night in Arsenal history at the Emirates era, or how we performed at the Bernabeu. Obviously, some people say our players looked a bit nervous. Naturally, this is a lot of their first times playing at the Bernabeu, but I think we coped well. Tactically, was very street smart. Obviously, Real Madrid. I think it. Obviously, Champions League is their bread and butter, but it's on brand with them this season. Again, I think the game they played before us was like their first clean sheet since February. Tactically, there's been question marks over Carlo. There's only so much aura hype, and we're Real Madrid, and I can't even say the word rotunda. You can scream all of this until you're blue in the face, especially for someone like Jude Bellingham. He looks similar to me. You'll be there all day. There needs to be something more. And for all of the hype, I think we stood up too. We reacted to setbacks. Like, in what world, especially with what you said earlier about, if somebody told you that this is how the season would have played out, if somebody also told me that and said we'd go through against Real Madrid with William Saliba dropping a clanger 2 minutes after we've taken the lead in that game, Bukayo Saka trying to Panenka and he still scores, I'd have looked at you like you're smoke with Marino up front and Kivior. I'd look at you like you're smoking something very special, and I know it's not weed. So big them up. Even like this tweet, we missed the penalty, gifted them a goal, and still won at the Bernabeu when we're already 3 goals up to the good. It does not make any sense. And I think the greatest thing you said there was the mentality. I'm not going to say we're mentality monsters and things, but for me, I think we looked better than we did against Bayern. And we had that calmness, man. Everybody had that calmness. And I want to ask you something, like, because it looks like we've improved psychologically or come of age, does that give you more confidence in maybe not necessarily just, winning the Champions League this year, but also challenging for major honors in years to come?
I think so. I think there's certain games like that you look at where you can see a team is like letting go of past trauma or, learning new things about themselves, that they can do things. And it's one thing saying that you can and then getting it over the line and looking back and being like, we really did that. And so I think we will be able to. Sometimes you need like examples of you persevering or winning to draw back from in difficult moments to know that you can do it. And so this Arsenal team, which is the core of everything that we're trying to do, now has something to look back on and say, well, we were able to do that, so why can't we do it now? And so, yeah, I think it's important. If you can beat Real Madrid home and away, regardless of what form they're in, regardless of what's going on with them, what inside their locker room or whatever, you definitely should be able to feel like you can beat anybody, because there's nobody that's more psychologically draining to play against than them. They're the worst.
I think you're bang on the money, man. And I think, honestly, watching them, I was like, they're players. Obviously, they've got top players. They've got top manager, stadium and all that. But we made a big song and dance about atmosphere. I think the atmosphere played a part for us. I don't think it played a part for Real Madrid. I think for a lot of their talking, and you can see here, Luis Vasquez is doing that age-old thing of how dare you come to the Bernabeu and you don't attack, and sour grapes. I'd be upset too if Arsenal were essentially Champions League virgins and you lot have won it 15 times and you're upset. But you need to be upset with yourself. It's not our fault. What you mean? You want us to make it an open game? When it was an open game, Martinelli scored, but we'll definitely get onto that. Do you think Mikel Arteta has learned about his team? Because obviously, Mikel Arteta is a madman in a good way. He's an over planner. He does all of that kind of stuff. But at some point, I think there's also like a temp. Like, you can do like out of 100%, that's like 90%. Then you got a 10% where I think to trust the players. And I actually think he started to trust the players. He didn't try and micromanage and overmanage. But where would you be with that?
I think nobody believes in this team more than Mikel, to be honest.
True.
I think he believes in them more than any of us do. I think he feels that they can do these things. And that's why he didn't try to overdo anything. That's why, he went with, the same lineup. He didn't cave and like take Kivior out or anything like that. He believes more than anyone else. So I'm not sure that I feel like he learned anything. I think they learned more than anything. And the fans learned. But if there's anybody in the Arsenal organization that believes in this team, it's Mikel Arteta. I think
it's his team.
Yeah, he's built this side. He's handpicked a lot of these players, and I think he does. Like he knew Marino was going to go up there and play center forward and do well. He knew it. Like, so I may have not known it, but he definitely did. So, yeah, I think Arteta believes more than anybody else.
Before we progress, I have to ask you, like the first leg is one thing and all of that, but is it just me, or did Real Madrid, not just Real Madrid's admin on Twitter and everything connected with the club, but their players, did it feel to you that A, there was a bit too rattled after the first leg, and two, they were just doing a bit too much on social media?
I
I was
think
surprised.
I think confidence is quiet. And I think the fact that the more they talked, the more I thought that they didn't believe. I think
Yeah,
when you're confident, you are quiet and you let the work speak for itself. The fact that they kept talking about it made me think that they were trying to overcompensate for a weakness that we've seen with Real Madrid all season. Make no mistake about
insecurities.
it, they're the type of team that if you show weakness, they will take advantage of it. But if you don't, they have a difficult time this season, I think, getting it over the line. And they've suffered quite a bit this season after a season where they've done so well. So I think there was that mental fragility. Had we had caved, they would have taken advantage of it, but we didn't.
100%.
So, and then they became petulant, which I thought was really good once we got past the first 15, 20 minutes where they were like hard tackles and running fast and trying to really get it going. After that, I saw the petulance come in, the weird tackles. Jude was very strange the entire, like both ties, or both
Rudiger
legs.
stepping on Lewis Kelly's ball bags and that.
Yeah, stepping on us and all the crying and whining and all that and the flopping in the box and all that. I was like, they don't feel like they can win. And we took them
Trying to
out of
scare
it
us.
in the first leg. Yeah, we took it out of them, the air right out of their sails. They didn't believe. But the more that their PR talked and the more that they started talking about remontada and see there and all that, I was like, they don't believe. So all we have to do is just be professional. And we were. When I said I wanted a professional 2-0 win at some stage this season, we didn't quite get it because Saliba still had his little slip up, but that was one of the most professional performances we put out this season.
As you said, there's one of the most professional performances we put out this season. Did you sneeze?
No, I just said.
Oh, sorry. I was about to have manners. My bad. I think it was one of our more professional performances. Naturally, we've beaten Real Madrid, and that these are the games that people buy into. The
Mhm.
fans, the players. Obviously, we need to go over the line, but it just shows you that if you stick to your principles, if you do everything that we did versus Real Madrid, that's special things can happen. To see a young Miles Lewis Skelly, and me and you are always waffling about week in, week out about this guy. To see what he's done, to see Kivio stand up to be counted. I actually think Saliba had a good game. Obviously, he
I
made
did
that fuck up. And across, that's the only thing I would say with the two legs. Football's decided in both halves, isn't it? First leg, there was a number of stray passes that went unpunished. Probably could have scored more. Second leg, we was professional. We took the lead. 2 minutes later, the Saliba F up. We allow Saliba. I know he ain't been at his heights of this season, but generally he saved our bacon and had a good game. Kivio standing up to be counted. You've got to big him up.
Yeah.
Jurrien Timber. Another one. Me and you are bored of speaking about him in a good way. Like, we know what they're on. They're absolutely phenomenal. Big them up, man. Like, big
I'm
them up. And
just,
yeah, go
yeah,
on.
I could, if somebody says, do you want to talk to me about Jurrien Timber? Yes, give me a mic. Let me talk.
Take
Because
it away, man.
there's just, he's just so, I just feel like if you look at the way that we've been, and yes, like from an attacking standpoint, we've fallen away a little bit. I think we all can just say, like, from the last 2 seasons, we haven't been the same kind of team that we were 2 seasons ago. But from a defensive
100%.
standpoint, I do think that when you take, put Timber in there, you just locked down. Like, he's just so, I like that he uses his aggressiveness when it matters, but then he can pare it back and like not do too much. There's just something about Timber that makes me feel a lot more secure. And we were talking about this on my post match yesterday, is that there's no shade to Ben. I love Ben down. But the biggest compliment I can give to Timber is that there was really no point where I felt like, yeah, but if Ben White was here, da da da, because Timber just in the big moments in these types of games,
Mm.
Champions League games, you need to have somebody that just shuts down those really good players. And coming up against Vinny Jr., who, whether he's on form or not, is a very difficult opposition to go up against. I just think he just made it hell for him. He just made it hell. Like he really did. And so you think about some of the big games that have gone past in a couple of years and how maybe our fullbacks have been like a point of failure, in terms of giving up
Nobody's
like
seen Timber destroyed, and it will happen one day, but it ain't
yeah,
happening anytime soon.
I do think you have to look at it and say that that was an upgrade that took us from a very good defense to the best defense, and that's a huge compliment. He's intelligent, he's physical, he's athletic. Whatever he lacks going forward, because I know some people don't love the way that, maybe he's not as attacking as people would like. I don't give a fuck because he just makes it so much
People
easier
doing
for
too much, man.
Saka. Like he makes it so much easier for Saka. And so I just rate him so highly. And that fullback pairing will come up against the only other fullback pairing that I think can even talk to them in the world.
Who's that?
And that's Nuno Mendes and Hakimi. They're the only other fullback pairing that I look at that are even in the same conversation or on the same level. And
Fair.
it's in different ways anyway, because Hakimi and Nuno Mendes to me are just like very attacking, but I love it. I love Timber. Like he's so good. And so he's probably been a sneaky player of the season. I still think it's
Nah, he ain't
Gabriel.
been sneaky. I've been saying that he definitely ain't been. There's nothing sneaky about that. He's been up there.
I feel like nobody talks about. I feel like when it's like, well, is it Saka? Is it so and so? I think it's Gabriel for me. I think over the course of the season, he has been our best player even without playing in this last Champions League tie. But Timber has been he's definitely up there. He's 100%
Especially
up
because of
there.
the ACL. Well, I don't want to keep saying the ACL because he's been back for a minute, but he's 100%. If I knew Timber off the record, any of Arsenal's medical staff and Mikel Arteta, in an ideal world, which I keep saying on this channel, ideal conditions in life like football are never there. He's probably
Yeah,
played a lot more minutes. So that's why I rate the consistency even more. He stood up to be counted. You've said everything. Like he's been amazing. I think there's a few players that could be our player of the season, if I'm honest with you. We'll get on
right.
to him. But I think Partey has a claim. I think Magalhaes has a claim. Have I said Timber? I think Timber's got a claim.
Mhm.
Probably more likely to win Young Player of the Year, but I'd say Miles Lewis Skelly has a claim. And now people were looking at me crazy. I said Bukayo Saka. Look how it started. Look at that 3 months like that he was out. He's come back like he ain't missed. We've all seen the Real Madrid games. I'm tired of there's a lot of things I'm tired about. Declan Rice as well of late. I'm tired of gassing up Saka. I'm tired of gassing up Rice. I'm tired of gassing up Lewis Skelly. I'm tired of it because at this point, the goalposts are always going to move. You're
Yeah.
using your eyes. Even seeing Rio Ferdinand come out and say, oh, yeah, Saka is world class. Shut up, man, because you were saying Phil Foden was world class for much less. Pricks.
Yeah.
Absolute pricks.
And I do see this on the screen, and I will say that like Martinelli was really, really good yesterday.
Don't worry. Hey, we gonna get to Martinelli. Don't drop the gun, man. Don't drop the gun,
I
man.
won't jump the gun. He's gonna get a lot of praise from me. So of course.
Oh shit. Yeah. Hold that thought, people. Clip that minute. Don't let me forget that. We're here, Martinelli. We're here. Do you think Martinelli's Martinelli? Do you think Timber's world class? And do you think he's a complete defender? That's actually why I had those comments up.
I would say like the way that I think about it, I would say if Timber, to me, Timber is one of the best in the world, and it's not even really like, but one more season playing at this level, I would say so.
No,
Declan Rice for me is world class, and so is Saka. So, and I think it's
Gabriel and Saliba.
and Gabriel and Saliba. But
can we force the Raya one? Or top 5 keeper in the world? Can he go through on that one?
He's up there for sure. But 100% the guy on the screen is world class. Like
he's mustard it. He's mustard it. Like, do you know what, Jess? The first thing we have to say with Rice, you're a complete midfielder. You can do the defending, you can score goals, you can do the 6 stuff. Another thing I'll say, Jess, is we have to forget the Rice in the 6. There'll be games for it. We'll get onto PSG, but there might even be that. Just let Rice in the 8, man. But what have you thought of his performance across the 2 legs and yesterday as well, man? Because it was a different kind of job for him yesterday.
Yeah, I think Rice in this tie has created core memories for a lot of young Arsenal fans. Some of the core memories that I have as younger Jess came from that Invincibles team.
I thought he was going to say Liam Brady.
From Cesc, stuff like that. and they have the same from probably Saka and Declan Rice, but so many people will remember those two performances. And outside of even the free kicks,